This is our first lesson on electrostatics for Physical Sciences Grade 10. Every object, material, or substance, all of them, including yourself, has positive and negative charges. For an example, your pen, ruler, pencil, book, etc. They have negative and positive charges. Some objects have more positive charges than negative charges, and we say that they are positively charged. Some objects have more negative charges than positive charges, and we say that they are negatively charged. When an object has an equal number of negative charges and positive charges, we say that it is neutral. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to state that all material contain positive charges, protons, and negative charges, electrons. Describe an object as neutral when it has an equal number of protons and electrons. Describe positively charged objects as electron deficient and negatively charged objects as having an excess of electrons, and state the principle of conservation of charge. Electrons carry a negative charge and protons carry a positive charge. This is why negative charges are called electrons and positive charges are called protons. If an equal number of negative and positive charges are found in an object, there is no net charge and the object is neutral. In this object, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positive charges and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 negative charges. This means we have 8 electrons and 8 protons. The net charge will be determined by adding the number of electrons and protons, which is 8 protons plus 8 electrons. Remember, protons carry a positive charge and electrons carry a negative charge. Hence, we say 8 plus open brackets minus 8. A positive multiplied by a negative is a negative. Hence, we have 8 minus 8, which is 0. In this object, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positive charges and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negative charges. This means we have 8 protons and 6 electrons. The net charge is equals to 8 protons plus 6 electrons. Protons carry a positive charge and electrons carry a negative charge. Hence, we say 8 plus open brackets minus 6. A positive multiplied by a negative is a negative, hence we have 8 minus 6, which is 2. Then we say the object is positively charged. It carries an overall positive charge. A positively charged object we say is electron deficient, meaning it has a lesser number of electrons than it does protons. There is more protons in that object than there is electrons. In this object, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positive charges and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 negative charges. This means we have 8 protons and 11 electrons. The net charge is equals to 8 protons plus 11 electrons. Protons carry a positive charge and electrons carry a negative charge. Hence, we say 8 plus open brackets minus 11. A positive multiplied by a negative is a negative, hence we have 8 minus 11, which is minus 3. Then we say that the object is negatively charged. It carries an overall negative charge. A negatively charged object we say is electron rich, or it has an excess of electrons, meaning it has a greater number of electrons than protons. There are more electrons than there are protons. Another way an object can be charged is through something called tribo-electric charging. This means rubbing two objects or materials together. Let's say we have material A, which has 5 electrons and 5 protons. Therefore, it is neutral. It has an equal number of electrons and protons. Material B has 3 electrons and 3 protons. It is also neutral. It has an equal number of protons and electrons. When you rub the two objects or materials together, electrons are transferred from one object to the other. To begin, the two objects are neutral. That is, they had the same amounts of positive and negative charge. After rubbing, when you separate the materials, material A has lost electrons. It becomes electron deficient. It has an overall positive charge. Material B has gained electrons. It has an excess of electrons and has an overall negative charge. Please note that the total number of electrons and protons remain the same before and after rubbing. This means that charge is conserved. Before rubbing, the total number of electrons was 5 plus 3, which is 8, and the total number of protons was also 5 plus 3, which is 8. After rubbing, the total number of electrons is 3 plus 5, which is 8, and the total number of protons is also 5 plus 3, which is 8. So even if there was electrons being transferred from one material to the other, the overall charge, the net charge, remains the same. So charge is conserved. And this principle of charge conservation is called the principle of conservation of charge. Charge conservation is the reason why charge remained the same before and after rubbing the two materials together. The principle of charge conservation states that the net charge of an isolated system remains constant during any physical process. So a physical process may include touching or rubbing off the two materials involved. We will talk more about this principle of conservation of charge in the following videos. We have learned that all materials contain positive charges called protons and negative charges called electrons. If the same amounts of negative and positive charges are found in an object, there is no net charge and the object is electrically neutral. A positively charged object is when electrons are removed, making the object electron deficient. A negatively charged object is when electrons are added, giving the object an excess of electrons. Tribo-electric charging is a type of contact electrification in which certain materials become electrically charged after they come into contact with different materials and are then separated, such as through rubbing. And the net charge of an isolated system remains constant during any physical process, and that is the principle of charge conservation.